Congressional leadership met with Donald Trump in a closed-door meeting to discuss his decisions to abruptly pull US troops out of northern Syria. Those troops were there to protect Kurdish allies from Turkish military aggression. Pulling the troops out led to an all-out war between the Kurds and the Turks in northern Syria. Now, during the meeting, though, Donald Trump took it upon himself to do what he does best. He insulted Democratic leadership, including Nancy Pelosi, and referred to her as a third-rate politician, and then also called Defense Secretary James Mattis, or former Defense Secretary, I should say, James Mattis, the world's most overrated general. So at that point, things got pretty heated and said that, and Nancy Pelosi decided, no, we're gonna leave. He was quite nasty, so Pelosi stood up to go. She started to sit back down, but Representative Steny Hoyer got her to go. Pelosi and Hoyer walked out of that meeting, or out of the meeting. And so after that, they had a press conference, and here's what they said.
He was insulting, particularly to the speaker. She kept her cool completely, but he called her a third-rate politician. He said that there are communists involved and you guys might like that. I mean, this was not a dialogue. It was sort of a diatribe, a nasty diatribe, not focused on the facts.
When did this meeting go south?
Well, from my perspective, the meeting started off with the president walking in and slamming down his files on the table, suggesting that this was a meeting he agreed to. It was belligerent from the get-go.
Thank you.
Go ahead,
What we
Steny.
witnessed on the part of the president was a meltdown. Sad to say.
I have served with 6 presidents. I have been in many, many, many meetings like this. Never have I seen a president treat so disrespectfully a co-equal branch of the government of the United States.
So at one point following this Trump meltdown, Nancy Pelosi said, quote, "We have to pray for his health because this was a very serious meltdown on the part of the president." And Donald Trump, of course, is gonna respond to that, and on Twitter said, "Nancy Pelosi needs help fast. There is either something wrong with her upstairs," in quotes,
Jesus Christ.
"or she just plain doesn't like our great country. She had a total meltdown in the White House today. It was very sad to watch. Pray for her. She is a very sick person."
That is so uninventive. It's classic Donald Trump, like a little child, like, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't have a meltdown. You had a meltdown." Like there's no cleverness in the comeback.
Yeah.
I don't have a mental problem. You have a mental problem. Don't pray for me. I'm gonna pray for you. You just repeated everything she just said.
What I want
It's so sad.
What I want to know is, as we were talking about, what was in those files?
Yeah.
Banged files down on the desk?
Yeah, no, Menendez lost some credibility there when he said Trump slammed down the files. Trump having files, really?
Right. I mean, you see his desk, it literally has nothing on it in the pictures in the Oval Office.
Yeah, so look, I actually think this story, when you get into the substance of it, is a little bit more complicated. Most Trump stories are very simple. He's an idiot, he does something stupid, okay? And so in this case, yes, we have that, but we have also more nuance. So first of all, I don't know if Pelosi meant to walk out from the moment she walked in. I think she meant to agitate him, and I think that what they walked out over was relatively minor. And so I'm keeping it real, and this is my real political analysis, okay? So when Pelosi said, all roads lead to Putin, as she did at some point in the meeting,
yes,
that was clearly meant to agitate him and get under his skin. Now, I don't mind that at all. Okay, so that's politics. I'm keeping it real with you, okay? On the other hand, I think it's good politics. If I was her, I would have stayed in the meeting and I would have kept burrowing, right? I get further and further under his skin until he absolutely, that's not Trump losing it. That's normal Trump, if you ask me. Trump losing it is another level altogether. So what did they walk out over? He called her a third-rate politician. So what?
Yeah, I would have preferred that she stay in the room and continue agitating him until his meltdown leads to him walking out. I think that would be more effective, and it would, I think he's done that before. I don't remember exactly what they were negotiating about, but remember, she got under his skin and he ended up walking out.
Yeah,
that was a good look. Yep. It was a good look for Democratic leadership. So yeah, walking out isn't my favorite method of dealing with it, but it does get frustrating, I'm sure, dealing with a child like Donald Trump who has absolutely no knowledge of the topic they're even discussing or negotiating.
It's incredible that it's come to the point where you have to ask yourself first, what were they there to do? Like, what deal is to be made in this? And it's just, the relationship between Congress and the president has broken down so much that I don't even know what they were doing there in the first place.
Well, the reporting on that, I totally agree. I wish we knew more. But the reporting, of course, is going to focus on the soap opera drama part of it. But there are members of Congress who are frustrated because the executive branch is incredibly opaque when it comes to this issue, and Congress needs to be informed about what's happening. So that was meant to be part of the discussion, and of course, the White House has no interest in sharing that information with them.
So I want to give a lot more details there. First of all, Trump apparently sat down and said, "I don't even know why we're here." And he said, "I don't know who asked for this meeting. I didn't ask for it." Well, first of all, before the meeting, you might want to ask somebody. You might want to ask your chief of staff, "Hey, what's the next meeting? Why are we having it?" Right? He just always declares, "Hey guys, I want you to know I didn't do my homework." Okay, all right, fair enough. So as to what the meeting could be about, the Republicans cry foul and they go, "Oh my God, we can't get the important business of government done." What important business of government? You guys aren't pushing for anything. The last I heard, every once in a while, Trump says, "Should we do another tax cut?" Really? What are we talking about? What were you guys about to compromise on a bill, or are you guys going to do the infrastructure? No, they were going to do anything. So the only possible thing that they could have been doing in that room is talking about the Kurdish situation, because the House just voted overwhelmingly to rebuke Donald Trump, including 129 Republicans. So apparently Trump partly lost it when Nancy Pelosi mentioned the vote. But if you're not there to talk about the vote, what are you there to talk about?
Right.
And in fact, the only possible thing they could have discussed was apparently at some point in the same day, the congressional leaders were supposed to get a briefing on what's actually happening in Syria, because Mike Pence came out today and said there's a ceasefire, and the Turkish government came out and said no, there isn't. Right? So they're about to get a briefing. Now this was again yesterday, so still though, they want to know what's happening on the ground, right? And the White House canceled that briefing. They don't want the congressional leaders to know what's happening on the ground. So then there was really no point in the meeting other than yelling at each other. And so I guess mission accomplished.
It was a success then.
Yeah, that's right. And so, but in a sense it was for Pelosi. So look, I always think she's too weak. Now, today she was pretty good. Like I just told you, I think agitating him about Putin was decent strategy. So God bless on that front. By the way, but after during the press conference, when they asked her, "Hey, you keep saying you're praying for his health. What do you mean? Do you mean mental health?" She said, "Oh, no, I don't mean that. I just mean generally." No, don't say that. You obviously meant mental health. Say it, right? They're just so soft. But what she got out of it was a picture.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I've been wanting to talk about that. So Donald Trump decided to post photos of this closed door meeting on Twitter, thinking that it would, bolster his case, make him look good, but it actually did end up backfiring. So I'll give you an example. Here's one of them, and the picture has the caption, "Do you think they like me?" Right, and you see Democratic leadership looking not so happy. Then he also posts a picture saying, "Nervous Nancy's unhinged meltdown," and it features her standing up. I mean, honestly, as a woman,
she looks unhinged.
That's a pretty incredible photo, because look at her. It makes her look so strong. It makes her look strong. She's 100%. Standing up to a group of men who are incredibly powerful. So guess what she did? She took that photo and she used it as the background on her Twitter page.
Right.
No, so that's really well played. Okay. Bless her heart on that. But but right now, what are Nancy Pelosi's two calling cards that people talk about? When she did this clap to Donald Trump in the
right.
Speech to the Congress, which, by the way, I don't think she even meant derisively. I think she just claps that way. And now she has a picture where she's standing and they're all sitting. They're good. If she meant it derisively, then I like it. Okay, but they're not substance. So the vote, by the way, she should get way more credit for. She did a vote. Now look, the Republicans turned down Trump, okay, but nonetheless, she pulled that off and she put it language that was kind of soft. But in this case, I agree because the soft language didn't matter at all. The memo was Congress rebukes Trump. That's the headline that everybody saw, and the language caused 129 Republicans to say yes and vote with her. So I want to give her credit for the things she does right, but instead what we have is style over substance. So now everybody's talking about the picture. And so I want to come back to substance for 1 second. That mental health stuff, it's not just, hey, I like to get under Trump's skin and oh, I like to make fun of him. No, it's real. It's as real as a heart attack. The guy has very significant mental health issues. So when she backs away from it and says, no, I didn't mean his mental health, you've actually done a disservice here because we should be having a national conversation about his mental health. His top advisor, Kellyanne Conway, her husband, wrote a 19-page op-ed showing the man is clearly mentally unfit for office. You think he doesn't talk to his wife, the senior advisor to the president? In other words, they're sending an SOS, somebody help. The president has lost his mind, somebody help. Pelosi has an opportunity to say, goddamn right I meant his mental health, look at him, right? And she turns that opportunity down.
It took her 9 months to get an impeachment inquiry, so I mean,
if that's what it is.
This is happening at a snail's pace, obviously.
Yeah, God, they are so timid. And unfortunately, the person that she now has as acting head of oversight, now that Representative Cummings has passed away, is also a reluctant conservative Democrat. And she loves to put people who don't want to go after Trump as the heads of committees. Yeah. So Cummings, she couldn't do anything about because he had seniority and he had earned it. Well, now she put in another lackey to slow down the Trump investigations. Some of her actions like she gets credit for all this style, but her substantive actions against Trump is bewildering. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.